What's up guys, mini part 3, here we go. Well, honestly I wasn't really going to put a third video out on the mini. I was just basically going to do an update, but hey, what the hell, here we are. Anyway, do have the stripe here now. I'm not putting that on just yet because she's going to be going for her inspection, MOT, and yeah, so basically she's got her moved over here. Buddy Andy is coming over shortly with a trailer. Now unfortunately, for whatever reason, I cannot get anywhere local to me. Yeah, they're all booked up until after Christmas. It's about the 11th, 12th today of December, and yeah, can't get anything until round about the middle of January. And it's like, okay, so what we're going to do is, there's a few jobs to be done over at the shop. Basically I'm just going to be giving Andy a hand over there just to clear a few things out. And so we've actually managed to get the the car booked in over there. So we're going to just take it over. I'm going to stay over a couple of days, do a few jobs over there, then we'll be back next week. And yeah, I'll be dealing with this. Storms have all now passed, but obviously the frame itself's fine, other than one bit up there that's kind of come loose, but otherwise the frame itself's fine, but obviously the canvases have destroyed. But it's all anchored down, can't really do anything with that for the time being, so just gonna leave it the next week till I get back. Anyway, yeah, so that's basically what we're going to be on with this. We'll get it loaded up and then we'll shoot off after this truck goes by. Hey, you could leave some of that on this driveway if you wanted. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, so gonna get it shipped over. The inspection isn't until Friday, it's Wednesday today, but like I say, a few jobs to do over there, so not sure if I'll actually video any of them. It's just some basic stuff, like I say, just tidying and everything. So yeah, there we have it. Well, I'm back at the shop and there she is sitting there, ready. Goes down for her MOT tomorrow. So yeah, but meanwhile I am here to do a few things. I'm doing a little bit of work on the Astra, which is kind of sitting over there at the moment. Yeah, she's gonna she's due MOT as well, so there's a couple of things to do. I'm not going to make a video on this. Basically I'm a bit pushed for time, so it's just going to be a case of just getting into it, getting it done, and then getting it sorted out. Although we won't actually get her in for an MOT this week. It's probably going to be after Christmas, but that's the main thing. That's why I'm here. Obviously I had to bring that across, so while I'm here, you know, see what I can get done on that. Well, it's morning and we're ready to head off and have her inspected. So I expect her to go through. Can't find any glaring issues or anything like that. I've had a good look around, went through all the brakes and everything, checked the lights, and everything seems to tick all the correct boxes. So yeah, next time you see her, she should be inspected or MOT'd. Well, obviously things didn't go well. Did fail inspection, MOT. It's not a bad one though. The only thing we failed on was the exhaust. Rear silencer has a hole basically on top of it, and yeah, so it did fail on that. Only other thing was the rubber seal on the filler cap. Basically both of them are pretty straightforward. The only thing is you cannot buy a back box for this. You've got to basically buy the whole system. So that's coming later today. We should have that on by tonight and see what happens. See if we can get the car back in for inspection first thing in the morning. Well, it's definitely dark. Still waiting on the exhaust system. It should have been here an hour ago. It's not, so Buddy Andy is actually down there at the moment just waiting of it arriving. So yeah. And you know what, sky always looks lighter on the camera than it is in real life. I know, trust me, it is pretty dark out here anyway, but the old system's off down there. Well, there's a bit of it there, the rest of it's in the scrap. So yeah, fun and games. Well, it's morning, sun's just coming up, so let's get her strapped back down to the trailer. Well, obviously, I've left the shop, we are back, and yeah, she passed. So, new exhaust system, and what was the other thing? Oh, seal on the gas cap. So, what I'm going to do now is, I've got the door stripes to go on. We're going to get that sorted out today. There was a couple of little advisories which I am also going to try and sort out today. And then after that, it's going to be getting this all sorted out. But I want this done first. Anyway, yeah, it's actually a bit windy, but it's fairly mild, so I think I'll move it back a little bit, and yeah, we'll get to putting the stripes on. So what I'm doing at the moment, I've just got to lift it up just to make it a little bit more accessible. I'm going to wash this side down, and then once that's complete, I'll I'll rinse it off, and then yeah, we'll get on putting the stripe on. So, looking at that, they do actually come with instructions. These, I didn't realise that they were wrapped up in the stripes, but basically these go on dry. So they do recommend using rubbing alcohol to clean the door down, so I am going to do that. I've got some kicking about somewhere. Oh, I can see it there. So I'm going to clean the door down with rubbing alcohol, and I am going to actually warm it a bit. It's not cold today, but it's, you know, I think having the door a little bit warmer might actually help this. So let me go grab some heat, start warming it up, and then we'll get the rubbing alcohol and give it a good clean down. So I basically have the stripe here. One question I've got, I'm wondering whether I should put the Mini logo at the front or at the back. Now, on the actual photograph in the ad, they have the Mini logo at the front and the stripes at the back. So that's probably going to be the way I'm going to go with it. But yeah, these go on dry. Basically what you do is you lay this flat, you remove the backing and stick it on. Obviously, like I say, I am warming up the door and everything, so it'll make it a little bit easier if I do have to peel it off just to get it lined up. But and they recommend using a credit card or something like that to flatten it down. Well, I'm just going to use a Bondo spreader. It's what I used on the rest of them and it worked well. So yeah, let's just have a bit play around with this and I'll make a decision. Well, that's the Mini at the front. I don't know, there's part of me, I think I like the Mini at the back. I'm going to put the other one on now, just try it out, see what I think. No, I don't like it. If I'd been designing this stripe, I would have put the Mini just behind the door so that aligned, where we at? So the actual angle on the logo butted up, well, was close to the rear fender where it comes around, and then these stripes up here, I would have laid them forward. I think that would look better. Well, it's just personal taste, but anyway, obviously yeah, I don't like it like that. I do like the Mini logo further back, but so yeah, that's a shame that, but yeah, let's put them on as intended. Well, there we go. Obviously I've still got it jacked up at the moment, but get over here, get an angled view. I like that a lot. Yep. And I know it's not going to be to everybody's taste, but you know, it is to mine, so I'm happy with that. I've got to go back over and just make sure all the doohickles and everything about the any air bubbles and what have you. Then while I've got it up, I'm going to finish the rims off. I'm going to get some heat on this back one to start with, get it all touched up and everything, then I'll do the same with the front. But yeah, then we'll obviously spin around and we'll rinse and repeat. I'm really happy with that. I think it's just completely transformed this car. I mean, it just looks so different from when it first rolled up here. But anyway, let's get on with it. Well, there we go. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Now, I still have the other side to do, but yeah, but it's getting on a bit in the day. It took a little bit longer than I had anticipated. A lot of it was to do with just it being cold and having to warm things up all the time. I mean, like I say, it's not like freezing cold, but it is cold enough to make putting the stripe on a little bit of a, well, let's call it challenging. But yeah, I'm happy with how this is turning out. I really am pleased at how it's turned out. I mean, compared to what it was, if I can find a photograph, I'll stick a photograph up. But yeah, she's looking now way better. Well, it's the next day and I'm on putting the other stripe on. It is a bit of a battle today because there's a bit of a breeze, but it's not too bad. I have got some green tape on there, you may be wondering why, and I'm basically using the green tape to line up the Mini logo so I get it in the same place on both sides. But yeah, I've got it nicely lined up there. Use this bottom edge here is an alignment, and then just basically they recommend a credit card, but obviously I'm using my plastic Bondo spreader. And rather than rubbing the bare plastic, I actually like to put it inside a microfiber towel, and you just get a softer edge to it. And it's just basically a case of just working your way along, working all the little air bubbles out. I do have a hot air gun which I do use on low, and it's good for areas like this where you can soften the glue and basically work the bubble out. Be very careful with these. I was using a hairdryer, but unfortunately when I was doing the stripes over the roof, it started to rain at one point. I forgot to get the hairdryer and it got soaked, and it doesn't work now. So thankfully it wasn't, and it didn't belong to anybody. It was just the one that I used for working on vehicles. So yeah, I'm not going to be home drawn and quartered. So just be aware if you're using the little lady's hairdryer. Be careful. So anyway, I'm going to get on with this. It's like I said, it is a bit breezy, so it's making it a bit awkward, but yeah, we'll get there eventually. Well, there we go. I've got the stripe basically laid down now. So as you can see around these edges there and there at the back, there is some overlap onto the plastic fender. Now I like to do it that way because I find it's easier just to do a rough trim, remove the outer paper, and then do the fine trim around everything. Same with the doors here. There's at the door seam there. Now some people will just go straight down there and cut it. I don't like to do that. What I like to do is warm the tape up, and then you can press your finger in and you get a little bit of flex in there, and what that does is it puts a crease on the edge of it, and then when you do cut it, it's much easier to fold around the corner. The same at the front here. I'll do exactly the same there. And again, now it is more difficult. What have I done with it? It is more difficult to It is more difficult to actually fold these front sections around because you can't actually get your finger in. So what I do is, with a scraper or whatever it is you're using, actually put that in the seam, and again, warming it, you can actually use that to edge the tape in. So I'll show you better once I'm actually in the process of doing it, but that's how I like to actually do that, and it makes a better job of it, I think. I don't know how well you can see that, but I've warmed it up and I've just ran my finger down and it puts a crease in there. Now what I'll do next is, obviously there's a bubble there, I will work all of these out in a moment, but what I'll do next is I'll now slit it, warm the tape up, and I'll be able to fold it around the door. There we go. Now this isn't perfect yet, but what I did was I took the card and I just basically warmed the tape slightly and just pressing it around the corner. Now because this is this side of the door I can actually open, I will come back and open the door and press it in correctly. Won't do that until I've actually got the front section done, because if you open the door now it's going to pull the tape off the front. Okay, now to finish it off, I write in a microfiber towel and I just bend the plastic spreader, just ease it up a little bit, and that's basically what I'm doing is flattening the vinyl stripe into the areas that I can't reach. And there we have it. So obviously I do not claim to be a professional. This is just a technique that I have developed myself and it works for me. So have a float around YouTube, see how other people do it. They may do it different from me. You know, it's like I say, this is not a de facto tutorial in how to apply stripes. This is how I've done it in the past, this is how I do it now, and it's just what I've developed, so yeah, take it as it is. Anyway, now that I've got this front section done, I am going to open the door, warm the tape up on this edge and just get a nice fold up there. And then I'm going to trim around this back arch. I've already trimmed around this front one. Now one thing that I do recall from many years ago was that at one point there used to be some recommendations to go around the edges of the door in particular and just put a little line of clear nail polish around the edge of the stripe, and I used to do that. I don't do it now because obviously I don't have any clear nail polish, but I may actually grab some next time I'm in town and just do it. The idea is it seals the edge of the stripe up and stops moisture getting in, but that said, I've never really had problems with moisture getting in as long as they're tucked around an edge. The adhesive pretty much sticks, so you know, it's just a thought. Well, and there we have it. One thing I should mention is I haven't cleaned the inside the entire door frame yet, but I did do around the edges where the stripe lays over into the door frame, and the whole lot was washed down with isopropyl alcohol. I did the same with all the other stripes as well. That basically degreases and removes any final dirt. So now the only thing I've got left to do now is I'll get these rims sorted out, and that's basically everything done. Obviously she does need a wash and a polish, and when I get round to it, I'm going to switch out these little turn signals, repeaters, and yeah, then that's it. It's just a case of getting her on the road and selling her, and I'm still waiting. As I've said, I think I said earlier, the reason behind the Mini is that I did have somebody contact me a couple of months ago now, and they did leave a deposit on the Transit. They are due to be collecting it sometime this week, so I'll basically wait until the Transit's gone, and then I'll transfer insurance and everything over onto this, and yeah, we'll call it good. So you may be wondering what I'm doing with the steering wheel. Well, this rim around here, it's a little bit scuffed. It's not really damaged, but it's just a little bit scuffed in it. So I am going to actually paint this in the anthracite, which is pretty close to what the dashboard is. I would like to do these sections here as well, but looking at it, it means taking the airbag out, and I don't want to do that, you know. Plus it kind of ties it in with the stalks behind. But yeah, I thought about it, but it's like, nah, let's just, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, and they're in nice shape. So I'm just going to do this little bit of this trim around here, and that will kind of tie it into like what's on the dashboard and what's on the doors, etc. Which I actually quite like this. I like this a lot. It's interior does need cleaned at the moment. So if you're seeing like dirt on the floor and everything, it's yeah. I mean, obviously it's gravel and been in and out and in and out, and it's just dusty. So this does all need to be valeted, which I will do. Well, once the rest of the car is finished. Well, and you know, I know it is interior light. I was getting a weird reflection. I was like, where's that coming from? But yeah, so that's it done. Yeah, it's starting to get dark out here. But yeah, can I get a shot of this? Oh, it's close. I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, another job done. Well, there we go. That's just about complete. I do have that lower grille section still to paint, but other than that, basically she is done, and that's this video series brought to a close. Now, yeah, it's been fun, I must admit. I've enjoyed doing this, except for battling the cold. Not so much being cold myself, it's just actually getting the stripes and everything on. But it's worked out quite nice. I do like it. I'm really glad I went with a flat black. Well, it's a satin black up the centre of the car. I really, doesn't show so much on camera, but it really pops in the daylight. Something else that also pops, the red stripes appear way brighter on camera than they are in real light. In real life, they are a little bit more subtle. But yeah, overall, let this car go by. Overall, I am really pleased with how this has turned out. Obviously, it's still got the stickers on the tyres there, but they'll come off shortly. So, that's it. I'm glad you hung in there with me. And have a go yourself. You know, if you've got a car that's got a few years on it, it's getting a little bit scruffy around the edges, you know, just doing something like this can really rejuvenate them. Now, admittedly, this car was in exceptionally good condition to begin with for its age. Previous owner has really taken care of it, so it's more just a few cosmetic things here and there, and obviously some of it is to my own taste. Not everybody's going to like this, but you know, it doesn't matter. If it's your car, you know, do what you want with it. And most importantly is have fun. And that's what it's all about. It's just doing something that you like. Even, you know, it doesn't have to be a hugely expensive build. You know, just something that makes it yours, a little bit unique, something that's just personal to you. And there you go. Anyway, thank you for watching this video series. Take care and come back and see me sometime. Have a good one.